The Los Angeles County Jail. What is it like for a non-affiliate in the LA County Jail? How should a non-affiliate move in the LA County Jail? What should a non-affiliate know when in the LA County Jail? Let's talk about it. But first, wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Let's go.
Bitch, you want all this pimping you can't afford. Perform like a punk, but want a winner's reward. Some suckers give you points, but bitch, you never scored. If you ain't paying pimping, then bitch, you getting ignored.
Okay.
I'm so sick of these.
Now, just like it wouldn't be my place to speak on Los Angeles County Jail experiences in politics about gang members from a non-affiliate's perspective, because I don't have to walk in their shoes, it's not really the best account, or you really won't get the best idea of what it's like to be a non-affiliate in the LA County Jail hearing it from a gang member's perspective, right? Because they don't have to walk in a non-affiliate shoes. And at least as far as I see and as far as I know, you don't really see too many non-affiliates that are from Los Angeles County, born and raised, who have a lot of experience in LA County, who get on the internet and speak about it and tell you what it's like. So here I go, right? Freeze is from Los Angeles County, born and raised. Freeze is a non-affiliate, never courted onto anybody's set. So I could give you an accurate depiction of what it's like to be a non-affiliate in a Los Angeles County Jail. Now, one thing you need to know for sure, first and foremost, how you come into the LA County Jail is how you're always going to be remembered in the LA County Jail. Meaning, if you come in there for the first time and say that you're a non-affiliate, you got to stay a non-affiliate, unless you just so happen to actually get courted onto a set, which, you know, is rare for an adult. But, you know, we in 2025, times is different. I know cats that be getting put on in their 30s and actually getting put on a set in their 30s. So, you know, it's different. But in most cases, by the time you're grown, you're going to be who you are. You're going to represent what you represent. So when you come into LA County Jail and you say that you're a non-affiliate, you say that you ain't from nowhere, that's going to stick with you. What you got to understand is you can go years, 5-10 years between stretches of being in the LA County Jail. It's a high likelihood that the next time you go back, if you go back, somebody will see you and remember what you was representing from the first time you was in there or the last time they saw you in there, right? This is an example of what not to do. I remember being young in the LA County Jail. I was in there for 8 months and I ended up going to prison. Now, within my time in the LA County Jail, I spent a significant amount of that time on the 5,000 floor. I want to say it was either 54 or 5,500, one of those, right? But for those of y'all who don't know, the 5,000 floor is dorms. So we in the dorm. It's a guy in there in the dorm. Now, he lets it be known that he's from Watts, but when people ask him what gang he's from, he would say that he's not from anywhere, that he's not a gang member, right? So this is how he started in the LA County Jail. And, you know, at this point in time, I was heavy into the scriptures. I'm reading the Bible every day. I'm praying every day. I'm not even cursing, right? I started this kind of early on in the LA County Jail during that time. And by this time, when I come around him, I probably been in the county 6 months, right? So he's joining me in the prayer circle with other people. You know, he calling it out in the dorm, prayer circle, everybody who want to come and join the prayer circle, come on, we about to start the prayer circle. He was one of them, right? So he praying with us, he having Bible study with us, all of the stuff, right? So fast forward. I'm in the penitentiary. I've been in the penitentiary for some months. One day I come outside, who I see on the basketball court, this same dude, right? Now, remind you, in the LA County Jail, he was letting it be clearly known that he was a non-affiliate. He wasn't claiming to be from a gang. He just said he was from Watts. He wasn't saying cuz, he wasn't saying blood. He wasn't doing none of that. He in the prayer circle every night, holding hands, praying with us, right? But when I see him on the basketball court in the pen on the Corcoran 1 yard, he see me. Oh, cuz, Freeze. Man, Freeze, this the homie, man. I was in the county with Freeze, man. Oh, Baby Low Crip, man. Freeze, man. Freeze got bars, man. Freeze be spitting, man. I guarantee you, cuz, on the set, Freeze is the hardest rapper on this yard, man. Can't nobody mess with Freeze, man. He got bars, man, on Baby Low Crip. Every other word is cuz and on Baby Low Crip, right? So it kind of, you know, I was taken aback by this. I'm like, Baby Low Crip? Ain't no more prayer circle? Ain't no more Bible study? Like, when did it become Baby Low Crip? So, needless to say, I was the only one on the yard who had also been in the county with him, right? But this is why I'm bringing this story up. Fortunately for him, Freeze is a non-affiliate, right? So as a non-affiliate, this is something else that's important. You don't get into gangbang politics. When you a non-affiliate and you see stuff that's going on, and you might see stuff that might not be cool, and, you know, unsavory behavior, things that you might not agree with, whatever the case may be. If it's gangbang politics as a non-affiliate, you leave that alone. You don't get involved, right? So with that being said, it wasn't my place to out him. It wasn't my place to question him as to how all of a sudden he big Baby Low Grape Street Watts Crippin', when in the county it wasn't none of that, right? It wasn't my place to do that. So fortunately for him, he was able to get away with it that time. But you never know who may end up on a yard with you, or if you come to the county jail and let's say you go to MCJ, which is Men's Central Jail, and you saying that you a non-affiliate, but then a few months later, within that same time, you end up in Wayside and Supermax, and all of a sudden you big blood, cuz, groove, whatever. It's a high likelihood that somebody from MCJ gonna remember you in Supermax and be like, hold on, man, you wasn't banging in the county. Like, all of a sudden you get to Wayside and all of a sudden you banging. Like, hold on, homie. And it's gonna, you know, it could potentially present a problem, right? It'll have an undesired effect in a lot of cases, right? So I say all of that to say, when you come in, again, back to my point, when you come into the LA County Jail, how you come in is how you gonna be. So me, myself, I came in as a non-affiliate. My first time in the LA County Jail, I was 19 years old, and I let it be known that I was a non-affiliate. The last time I was in the LA County Jail, I was 32 years old, still a non-affiliate, and been to the county jail a whole bunch of times. Unfortunately, I'm not proud to say, but it's the truth, especially within my 20s. And throughout my 20s, I've been in and out the county jail a lot of times. It never changed. Every time I go there, non-affiliate, right? So, you know, and oftentimes I would see people, you know, somebody I might have been in the county with 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I would see people and we would remember each other, and we would remember what each other was on. Like, if this person was a Crip or a Blood or a Hoover or whatever, I would remember them and they would remember me as a non-affiliate, right? So this is why it's in your best interest to just stay who you are, right? If you're a non-affiliate, you know, just remain a non-affiliate. And if you know how to move and how to carry yourself, it really will work in your favor, right? and we'll get into that in just a second. But don't, out of fear or intimidation, think it's in your best interest to join a gang inside the county jail. No, don't do that, right? Now, I will say this. I'm from Long Beach. Long Beach politics are a little bit different than everybody else's politics throughout the county jail and the prison system, right? Now, in the county, it kind of depends on who you may end up around. If you from Long Beach and you end up in certain modules, especially in dorms, right? And there's other guys from Long Beach in there, you might have certain OGs who will carry it like, okay, if you from Long Beach, we all together. Even if your hoods is beefing on the streets, in the county, we together. If you a non-affiliate in the county, everybody from Long Beach is together, right? In the penitentiary is definitely like that. When I got to the pen, everybody on the yard from Long Beach, it was probably, it will fluctuate between 8 to 10 of us usually, because Long Beach is a kind of a bigger city compared to other areas. So a lot of times Long Beach is deeper on the yard than a lot of other places. So everybody was together, whether you was from Mac Mafia, Insane 20s, West Coast Rolling 80s, Brick Boys, Four Corners, Old Hood, Boulevard, wherever you was from. If you from Long Beach, even though a lot of these hoods that I just named don't get along with each other on the streets, in the county, it's a Long Beach thing. In the penitentiary, it's a Long Beach thing. Everybody together. And in the county, it's like that in a lot of cases. It's not always like that in the county, because some places, like on the 2000 floor, for instance, I've been on the 2000 floor and everybody from Long Beach was kind of like doing their own thing. If you see somebody that from Long Beach, you might be cool with them, but for the most part, everybody was kind of doing their own thing. It wasn't like a Long Beach car when I was on the 2000 floor in most cases, right? So, yeah. And like I said, stay who you are no matter what. Don't be tempted or intimidated or coerced into joining the gang in the county jail. It's not really the best thing. Also, fun fact about Freeze. Like I said, I've done a lot of time in the LA County Jail. I did 8 months straight between Men's Central and Wayside, 8 months straight. And then if you add up all the weeks at a time and months at a time that I've done, I've probably done a year and a half at least in Los Angeles County Jail. Been through every nook and cranny of the LA County Jail, the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, which I don't even know if it's still a 6,000 floor, but the 6,000 floor used to be the medical floor. Like if you was injured or something or had medical issues, that was the 6,000 floor. 9,000 floor, been all through there, been all through East Max and Super Max and Wayside, Medium, North. I've been through every nook and cranny in LA County Jail with the exception of Twin Towers. I've been in there like once or twice, but I don't even remember. I'm not familiar with Twin Towers like that. But Men's Central and Supermax, which is really where it be going down, been through all of them places, right? And never been in a fight. Freeze has never been in a fight in the Los Angeles County Jail. The closest I came to a fight was one time I was on the 9,000 floor. I believe it was 9,300, but I was coming out of the shower and the blacks and the Southerners got into a riot over an Asian dude. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? This Asian dude came into the county as a non-affiliate, right? And a lot of times non-affiliate Asians run with the blacks because gang affiliated Asians run with the blacks in most cases, right? Unless it's an Asian that happens to be from a southern Southsider gang, 9 times out of 10 the Asians run with the blacks, non-affiliate or not, right? But this Asian dude he went from coming in and being with us to all of a sudden switching up and getting with the Paisas and the essays. He was like, you know, bouncing between the Paisas and the essays. He didn't know what he wanted to do, right? So the riot kicked off between the blacks / Asians and the Paisa / Southerners over this Asian dude, right? Who didn't know what he was trying to do. So I'm coming out the shower. It kicks off while I'm, you know, I just put my towel on and I'm got my shower shoes on and I'm walking out of the shower, and the riot had just kicked off right as I was coming out the shower. But it ended very quickly. From the time I was walking out the shower, by the time I made it into the dorm, it kind of ended right away. It probably didn't even last a full minute, right? And another fun fact that a lot of people don't ever usually see, and is rare, I was the MAC rep for the blacks as a non-affiliate, a young 22-year-old at the time non-affiliate, right? That's something that's almost unheard of. You usually don't see non-affiliates be the MAC rep. And for those of y'all who don't know what a MAC rep is, every car, every race in the county jail has what's called a MAC rep, which is basically a mouthpiece for that race. You know, the Southsiders will have one MAC rep. The Woods, which is the white boys, will have a MAC rep. The Paisas will have a MAC rep, and the blacks will have a MAC rep, right? I was the MAC rep for the blacks. So when I got out the shower and I got into the dorm, like I said, everything had already kind of diffused. It was some thumping going on. I heard it and kind of lightweight seen it, but I didn't really see much. And then me and the SA MAC rep, we came together and we diffused everything, and it was cool. But that's the closest I ever came. Didn't actually throw no blows, or no blows got thrown at me. So I've never been in a fight in the LA County Jail. But also, I have to say this as well. I've never turned down a fade ever in the LA County Jail, because I've never been called out for a fade, right? Also, something that you need to know as a non-affiliate in the LA County Jail: never let anybody take anything from you. Never let anybody mark you out, which in most cases, marking you out is like a test of your manhood in some kind of way, testing you as a man, or you know, testing you really as a man, just your manhood, right? Never let anybody do that with you. Never let anybody sex play you, which sex play you is like, joking with you or messing with you in a way that could insinuate that you mess with the same sex, right? Don't let anybody do that with you. And the main thing that you need to know as a non-affiliate in the LA County Jail is that you just got to carry yourself like a man, right? And if you carry yourself like a man, people will respect you. And that's ultimately what it was. It wasn't that Freeze never got into a fight because people were scared of me, or I was, moving around on some tough guy shit. No, I wasn't on no tough guy shit. I wasn't trying to mark nobody out or play with people or test people in any kind of way. I just carried myself with respect, and I respected everybody else at the same time, right? And then also, my mind was never confined to the LA County Jail. Whenever my body was in the LA County Jail, my mind was always outside of the county jail, right? Because those walls could play mind tricks on you. And those walls will have you wrapped up in some bullshit that you really ain't got no business wrapped up in, right? And, in a lot of cases, you can let small shit stay small shit and move past it before it becomes a problem, right? Prime example, I was a barber when I was in 9300, right? So I used to cut people's hair with the comb and razor. With a comb and a razor, I fade people up, and I'm vicious with the comb and razor too. More vicious than a lot of your people with some clippers, right? if you know, you know. But I was the barber in the LA County jail, and there was this one OG cat in there, and he like, Freeze, man, I got court coming up tomorrow, man. Could you do me a favor? Because I used to charge $2 for haircuts, which is like 2 soups or 2 items that add up to $2, right? Freeze, man, could you do me a favor, cut my hair, man, so I could be clean when I make it to court tomorrow. Then when store come, man, when I go to store, I got you. All right, cool. Get OG fresh, get him clean, have him looking like a brand new man. You know what I mean? I was surgical with the comb and razor. And I was doing facials and all that, you know. Had OG looking brand new for court. Store coming around. Oh, youngster, man, you know, my peoples didn't hit my books this week, man, but next week I got you. Next week roll around. Few weeks pass, OG never go to store. Right? Now, a lot of cats would have, you know, had to catch the fade with him. Come on, OG, we gotta go to the shower, man. You ain't finna play with me. But me, for one, I was straight because I was cutting a lot of people's hair, so I kept, you know, store, you know, food and stuff like that based on that. But then also I had people on the outside, family and loved ones, you know, keeping my books right. So I was cool. I really didn't want for nothing in the LA County jail. So I just, you know what I ended up doing when I had that issue with OG. I said to myself, I told him, first of all, I said, OG, don't worry about it, man. I ain't sweating that, man. You ain't got to pay me. Don't even trip. Right? So then after that, I started cutting hair for free. I stopped charging people. Why did I stop charging people? One, because my books were straight. Like I said, I didn't need to cut hair for money. I just was doing it because, you know, I'm cutting people's hair, so why not get paid? But I didn't need to do that. So that's one reason why I stopped charging. And then two, I actually enjoy cutting hair. That's something that I like to do. So I was cutting everybody's hair for free after that. You know, if you needed a haircut, come to Freeze. Freeze got you. And it was like, it was probably like 40 blacks, 40 brothers in the dorm at that time. And out of the 40, you know, a good 10 or 15 of them is getting a haircut. Some people got braids, some people got dreads, you know, but a lot of them is getting haircuts and facials and stuff like that. Now, you know, I'm hooking them up for free. Got everybody in the dorm going to court fresh. You know what I mean? So that's just one example of how, you know, a situation could easily go left, but if you just be bigger, then, you know, whatever's going on in there, you know, you could solve the problem very easily. You know, like I said, most cats, they would have took OG in the shower or behind the, you know, to the back of the dorm or something, and, you know, caught a fair one with him over $2, right? But me, I'm somebody, even at that young age of 22, I had been having money on the street. So what I look like fighting a man that's old enough to be my father over $2? Now, of course, $2 in there is a lot more than $2 on the streets, but nonetheless, $2 is $2. What I look like fighting a older man over $2, right? So I wasn't gonna do that. And, you know, I saved myself the potential problems in the future by not charging nobody. It's still cutting hair, you know, because some cats probably would have did that, been like, you know what, man, I ain't cutting nobody's hair no more because I don't want to deal with that. No, I enjoy cutting hair. I don't need the money, you know, and some cats will still pay me anyway. You know what I mean? Some cats will be like, here, Freeze, I got you. I know you ain't charging, bro, but here, take these couple of soups or take this or take that, whatever. You know, it was all good, right? And we big spreading every night, everything cool, right? So, that type of mindset is a big part of the reason why Freeze never caught no fade, never had no fights in the county jail, because of my ability to diffuse issues in that type of way, right? A lot of stuff that could potentially end up being a fight with most people, I knew how to diffuse it in a way where, we still maintain respect for one another. I'm not letting you mark me out. I'm not trying to mark you out, but we can diffuse this problem like this. And, we walk away, we still remain cool with each other. We could still be in the same dorm or the same module and be cool with each other and not have no problems. And everything is all, ain't no tension, ain't no animosity. Everything is all good, right? So this is how I carry myself in the LA County Jail, right? So like I said, at the end of the day, the main thing is to just be a man. Carry yourself as a man. Don't let anybody disrespect you, but at the same time, don't disrespect anybody. Don't be on no tough guy shit, but don't be on no bitch shit. Just be a man about whatever it is that you're doing. Don't get wrapped up in nobody's politics, because you're a non-member, you're a non-affiliate. And like I said earlier, a lot of times that could play in your favor, because when you hit certain modules, when you hit certain units in the LA County Jail and people hit you up and ask you where you from, if you a member, the moment you say where you from, in a lot of cases, somebody gonna need that. Somebody gonna want to run that fade because of where you're from, because of who you affiliated with, right? But when you a non-affiliate, you don't have nobody, trying to run your fade. Now, I have seen cases, because everybody's not like me, right? Everybody doesn't carry themselves and, get blessed in the ways that Freeze does. Like I said, nobody ever tried to mark me out. Nobody ever tried to play with me in that way. And nobody ever challenged me. Nobody ever called me out. So I never turned nothing down. But that's not everybody's experience. Nobody ever tried to take nothing from me neither. But you do have a lot of instances where when somebody is a non-affiliate, they get preyed upon based on the fact that they in there alone, like by themselves. They don't have a set that they associated with or homies that's gonna, ride with them because of where they from. You do have a lot of instances where people try to prey on or do prey on non-affiliates, right? I'd have seen non-affiliates get their store taken. I'd have seen non-affiliates, just get, bullied in a lot of different ways, right? So you do have those instances, right? But you got to stand up for yourself, right? Because when you stand up for yourself, at the very least, even if you get your ass whooped, they will know that they have to respect you. And it's a way that you might get your ass whooped. Now, if you get your ass whooped on some scary shit, then, people might keep on trying you. But if you give the person a run for their money, even though they might get the best of you, you don't turn it down, you don't punk out, and you fight as hard as you can, people gonna respect you, and they're gonna think twice about trying you, right? So that's the best thing, right? Now, mind you, I haven't been in the LA County Jail since 2014, right? So I know for sure that things are a lot different now than they were back then. And by that time, it was very weird in the LA County Jail. See, in the early 2000s, even mid to later 2000s, going through the LA County Jail wasn't so bad. The OGs, you still had some respectable OGs that was still, on their man shit and not getting pushed around. But by 2014, the last time I was in there, it was very strange. Drug addicts, bullying people. In the earlier days of my time in the LA County Jail, most of the dope fiends were older men. You didn't really see any young smokers in the LA County Jail when I was coming through there in my early 20s, even mid 20s. You didn't really see a lot of young smokers in there. But by 2014, a lot of young smokers, right? A lot of young wild smokers. And, a lot of OGs was scared of these young wild smokers. So it wasn't as much respect. It wasn't as much structure and order as it used to be, right? So I can only imagine now. The drugs are a lot stronger. The drugs are more out of hand, so I'm pretty sure that, it's a lot more crazier in LA County Jail than the last time I was there. So with that being said, I'm sure a lot of you hear a lot about this non-affiliate fight night. Now, I've never seen that. Like I said, I spent a lot of time in LA County Jail, been through every nook and cranny of that place, and I have never seen or experienced non-affiliate fight night, right? But lately, I hear, various people speaking on that. LA County Jail has something called non-affiliate fight night where they make different non-affiliates fight each other, I guess. I believe that's what it's supposed to be. Like, this non-affiliate and that non-affiliate, y'all got to fight each other, right? Now, again, I've never experienced this, but, just me being the man that I am, right? There's different ways that you can handle this, but I'll be honest with you. Even though I've never been in a fight in LA County Jail, I have been in fights before, just not in jail. Been in plenty of fights before. So I'm not scared to fight, right? So with that being said, let's say I'm in there, right? And they say, hey, Freeze, man, it's not affiliate fight night. You got to fight. You're not about to tell me, my grown man ass, who I'm about to fight and all that. You're not about to send me to do that. And then furthermore, I'm some pimping, so you're not about to send me or instruct me to do anything, right? So I would simply let it be known that I'm not doing that. And if they try to press the issue, whoever it is telling me that I got to participate in this shit, they getting fired on, taking flight on them. You about to participate in non-affiliate fight night with my ass, for trying to press the issue and make me do something as a grown man that I don't want to do. No, I'm gonna do something that I don't want to do with your ass. We fighting now, right? And it wouldn't matter, how many homies they got there and all of that, and if they want to run the fade after that, like I said, I'm not turning nothing down, so it will be what it is, right? But again, this is me as a non-affiliate saying what I would do in that situation. Nobody is going to make me fight another non-affiliate. Not doing that, right? But just because that's how Freeze would carry himself doesn't mean that that's the best thing for you to do, right? I'm just telling you what I would do. But the bottom line is, the reason why I would do that is because that is my way of standing on my manhood. You're not about to make me do anything. I'm a grown ass man, right? So, and the pimping. So you're not about to instruct me or send me to do nothing, right? So, again, that's how I would handle it. But that's not the only way to handle it, right? So, you might have a case where you just simply tell them that you're not going to participate, and then they might stall you out. I don't know. I've never experienced that before, but that's my take on that. But the bottom line to all of this, when you are a non-affiliate in the LA County Jail, just carry yourself like a man. Don't let nobody mark you out. Don't let nobody take nothing from you. Don't let nobody play with you as far as your manhood. Don't let nobody play with you being a man, right? Respect everybody else. Be respectable. And 9 times out of 10, you won't have any problems, right? Let that marinate on your mind one time. Freeze is it. Go ahead, put some of this good old love in your body like so. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out. Dig this.
Yeah.
I been stroking relentless to get waves like this. I spoke into existence for her to pay like this. In the trenches on a day like this, traffic consistent, and so I have to insist that she relay my chips. It's a trap with her name on it and my game on it. Any forces coming against this game, shame on it. Standing on my pimpin' from day one and remain on it. It carried me through every terrain and I gained on it. Experience joy and pain on it, sustained on it.
But getting back to this game that I never left.